Hi, my name is Emily Tinkle, and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers at Royerton Elementary. Our team consists of Mrs. Carmichael, Mrs. Brown, Mrs. McGuire, and myself. Our team has an experience range from 7 years through 25 years of experience. So today, what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about our daily schedule and just what a little sneak peek into kindergarten today looks like. So kindergarten has changed and evolved so much in the last 10 years that likely what we perceive as a typical day in kindergarten is likely much different. So our day starts at 7:30, and as the students arrive, they are allowed to go to breakfast if they choose. The tardy bell rings at 7:50, and as the students enter the classroom, they are putting away, unpacking, organizing, turning things in, and they are doing this all independently. Then during the morning, we have morning meeting, and we have our 90-minute reading block. Morning meeting is a spiral review and relates to all things calendar, days of the week, months of the year, the date, etc. Our 90-minute reading block, we are doing so many things, reading, writing, language, phonics, and so much more. At the beginning of the year, during our reading block, we will be doing an alphabet boot camp, where we will be doing a letter a day, letters A through Z, and some exciting things to go along with that. We also have an exciting new phonics instruction called U-Fly. Then lunch is from 10:40 to 11:15, and after lunch we do math time, recess, and the differentiated learning time. Differentiated learning time is a time for us to be able to teach your child at their specific level for their specific needs. Also, if your child needs special education or speech services, they will receive that at that time. We have 4 specials, which are PE, art, library, and music, and then the students are dismissed at 2:30. In your kindergarten roundup folder, you also received a color-coded copy of the report card. This is just to give you an outline and an idea of all of the things that your child will be assessed on during this year in kindergarten. Also, this can give you a heads up if you look at the first 9 weeks of anything that you can be working on your child with over the summer. The last thing that we do in kindergarten is a standardized assessment that happens K through 12. This is called the NWEA test. The kindergartners will be assessed 3 times through the year, fall, winter, and spring. And then those scores will be sent home to you. And the first time we will discuss these are at parent-teacher conferences. So we do not know yet who your child will have in the fall, but we have an excellent team that is so excited to just love on your child and have them in their classroom. We can't wait to see you in the fall.
Hello, kindergarten families. My name is Robin Brown, and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers here at Royerton Elementary. It's nice to meet you. Today I'm going to talk to you all about communication and how we're going to chat this year. This year, all kindergarten teachers will give your child a binder. Okay, right now the binder's plain, but here real soon each teacher will have their special mark on the front, and some of our teachers call this the bee binder or the dog binder. Whatever it's called, it's just our kindergarten binder, and this is our main form of communication. Okay, so you're going to see this coming home in your child's backpack every single day, and we need you to please check this binder every evening when they get home from school, because there's going to be lots of information inside. So I'm going to take you on a little tour inside of our binder, okay? You're going to see a return to school side. So anything your child's teacher will need will go here. And this area here, it says important notes and a money pouch. Anytime you have transportation changes or your child's birthday is coming up and you want us to know about it so that we can have some goodies potentially. If you have money for lunch, field trips, whatever it may be, use this pouch here. That way it doesn't all fall out. And then also in the very, very back, you're going to see an area where your child is going to keep certain papers at home. Okay? So this is the area you're going to want to check every day too. Now in the middle, behind that very special pouch, you're going to see a behavior chart. You're going to know every day what kind of day your child had, the choices he or she has made, and they will color in their choice. Every teacher has a different system, but you will see at the bottom, it'll explain what each color means and if they had a great day or not so great day. So you're going to see your child's behavior every day in the binder. You're also going to see a special schedule. This is really nice. You're going to have a monthly, and this is old from last year, but you're going to have a monthly special schedule so you know maybe how to dress your child for gym that week and whatnot. Also, you're going to have some resources in the middle. Letter flashcards, sight words. We're going to be practicing a lot of sight words at different levels. So you're also going to have a lot of materials in the middle. Again, you will see this every single day. If you do not see it, you can always call the school and come back and get it if your child forgot it. Now, another way to communicate with us is through email. Email is the next best way, right? If you need something really quick to tell us and to alert us, we will do the same with you. Feel free to email us, call the school, especially if you're going to have unexpected transportation changes. Please call us before 2 p.m. That way we can get the notes where they need to go and on time. Also, we have a Royerton PTO page on Facebook. So if you have Facebook and you want to join the Royerton PTO page, if you haven't already, you can see a lot of information there about district-wide and school-wide things happening. Also, we might be using Class Tag. I don't know if all of the teachers will, but most of us will be using either Dojo or Class Tag. It's an app that you can sign up for, or download, I guess. And we will be using this app to send you pictures of some really cool things we're working on maybe in a particular week. Maybe we might ask some parents to sign up for party items and send you reminders through the app. So this is just a really great way to communicate in addition to the binder. And lastly, we will be having a newsletter. Some of us call it the Kindergram, some of it just call it a newsletter, but we will be communicating with you weekly on things that are happening in kindergarten, okay? So those are ways to communicate with us. Those are some things that you will be seeing in your future. We'll be doing lots of chatting, lots of communicating, and it goes both ways. Feel free to reach out anytime if you have any questions. We are here to help you as well as your child or children along the way this year. Hopefully after COVID, this year will go very smoothly. We're hoping. Well, it's so good to meet you. Thank you for listening to this video, and let's have a great school year. Bye.
I'm Debbie Carmichael. I am one of the 4 kindergarten teachers here at Royerton, and I have been teaching for 24 years and have really loved kindergarten. One of my favorite parts of it is just seeing the kids and how they grow so quickly over the year. One of the things that I would like to talk with you all about is something that I know is probably something you've been wondering about if this is your first experience with sending off a kiddo to school, is what is it like when they're in the classroom, and how does the teacher establish good classroom management? That's something that's so important so that the teacher can teach, the kids can learn, and we can all work as a community in the classroom. That's our number one goal, is we want children to be able to learn and grow. And so because of that, some of the ways that we have come up with ideas on having really good classroom management, good control, is through some behavior plans. We don't all use the same one in kindergarten, so that will be something that you will learn about when you learn who your child is having for kindergarten. I'm going to go over just a couple examples of what some of us use, and one of them is a clip chart. And I have a picture here of an example. So this just happens to be the one that I use, and it is a color chart where each student starts on green. That's where they come in and they're ready to learn, and we're off to a great start. As they clip up a color for good behaviors, that means that we are seeing really good examples of what a student should be doing. If they clip down, then that is obviously unwanted behaviors or things that we would like them to think about, and we learn from that. And when good choices are being made, then we clip them back up. This is a really great way to show them that we all make mistakes, and even if we have to clip down colors for poor choices, we can make better choices and clip back up, because we're all human. We all make mistakes, and what we want is to learn from those mistakes and improve those behaviors and learn and grow from that. So clipping up colors, great things. Clipping down are those unwanted behaviors that we then learn and grow from, and try and correct that and go back up the chart. I'm not going to go into too much details with this, but that just gives you an overview of something that I use. If your child has me, that is something that I will go more in depth with you at the beginning of the year. Another plan that some of the teachers use is called Class Dojo, and that's a computer-based program. And that is where each child is given, it looks kind of like, I don't know if it's like a monster or whatever, but the teacher can decide if good choices are being made, kind of like the clip chart that I just showed you. They will be given what are called positive dojo points, and then that alerts to the parent that they are making good choice as the day goes on. But it can also go the other way too, and if unwanted behaviors are being shown, that they can take away dojo points, and those are called negative dojo points, and that is then also alerted to the parent that the child's behavior is showing unwanted behavior, but also can show positives as the day goes on. So that one's a little bit different, and that teacher will go through a little bit better explanation if that is the plan that your child, their teacher is using. We also have a teacher that uses class avatars, and those are taped to their desk, very similar to the clip chart color system that I showed you here, like that I use in my classroom. Mine is hung up on the wall. Hers is on her desk, on the student's desk, and as good choices are being made, she has them move their avatar on their desk up a color, and then the opposite for unwanted behaviors. What we all do that is similar to what I'm going to show you next is have some way in their binders that they take to and from school to each day is a calendar chart. And this is the one I use because I have the dog bones, so I have the dog feet and the colors that show the behavior of the day. And they color whatever picture is on their calendar for that day of how they perform that day. So if they had a green day, they'll color green and so forth. What we do ask parents to do is initial that they've seen it. So there's a space underneath where they color it to show us that you have seen their behavior for that day. Ultimately, this is just a great way to keep track of patterns that we might be seeing. The beginning of the year, we do a lot of clipping up for very, very small things, but we also clip down a lot for little behaviors too, to nip those unwanted behaviors quickly. So the beginning of the year, you might see more colors that are the below green or more negative dojo points or avatars that have been moved down more. That's normal. That's just how we're going to establish good classroom management. And as the year goes on, then it will look different. There will be, they've learned, they know the classroom expectations, the rules, and then hopefully you're seeing more clipping up or colors going up on the avatars or more positive dojo points. If we feel like it's something that we need to discuss with you because we're seeing those patterns of more unwanted behaviors, then we will contact you ourselves and have those discussions. But no, at the beginning of the year, it's very common to see that there may be more unwanted until we get those rules and expectations established in each classroom, and we have a great year because of that. So everyone can learn, teachers can teach, and we can grow those brain muscles. The other part that I wanted to talk to you about is communication with your child's teacher. We all have our email systems. Sometimes it's tagged to whatever app that we like to use. Several of us have different apps. The Class Dojo is an app. I use one that it's called Class Tag, and it's very similar to that, where we can push out our newsletters. We can send emails. We have a directory where we can quickly look up your email to contact you and phone numbers. It's just a nice way to communicate. If you would ever need to communicate with your child's teacher, email is probably the best route to go first. We check our emails usually once or twice throughout the school day, and then after the school day is over, or as we have a moment. Kindergarten, there's not very many moments, so it's not going to be immediate, but know that by the end of the day, we will do our best to communicate back with you through an email. If it is something that is easier to talk in person, then the best route to go is to email your classroom teacher and see if there's a time that we can talk on the phone. So that just eliminates a lot of phone tag. Phone calls during the day are extremely hard for us. Any kind of disruption in the class can make it really hard to get the class back on task, and is just not an opportune time to have a conversation in private if needed. So setting up a time is probably the best way if it's going to be a phone call. If you would ever have a dismissal change or something that is happening during the school day, like maybe a doctor's appointment, or you thought your child was going to latchkey but now they need to go on the bus, please don't email the teacher about those kinds of situations. The best is to call the school and talk to the secretaries. We have a folder system for dismissal at the end of the day, where if there's a phone call and a dismissal change or something we need to know before the children leave, we get that information in our folders. Trusting that we'll see an email is probably not a good idea, because like I said, it's hit or miss when we can be able to check our emails as the day is rolling. So definitely call the school. Please, as soon as you know if there is a change and you didn't write a note in the morning, notes would be perfect, because then it gives us plenty of time of a heads up of any kind of change, like a doctor's appointment or an early dismissal or a dismissal change. Please, if you know in the morning, send a note, and the school will be providing special paper that you can use, or you can be a handwritten note to send with your child in the morning. But if it's during the day, call the school as soon as you know. The end of the day can be really crazy, and lots of phone calls for the secretaries of changes. So the sooner the better, so that their job is easier and so the teachers know right away, and we're not scrambling at the last minute trying to figure out where kids are going. We have a lot of kids in this building, so we appreciate that from your end as soon as you know to make those changes through a phone call or a morning note. The beginning of the school year, when you find out who your child's teacher is, you will get lots more information. I really just went over quickly an overview of our behavior, and then also communication and dismissal changes, transportation for changes during the day. I hope that your child is excited to come to kindergarten. It's always fun to get a new batch of littles, and it's amazing how much they grow by the end of the year. So we are looking forward to a wonderful relationship with your child and families, and please don't hesitate to let us know how we can help you. Bye.
And welcome to your kindergarten roundup video. My name is Mrs. McGuire, and I am one of the kindergarten teachers here at Royerton Elementary. In your information that you received, you should have gotten a paper that looks very familiar like this. It is all of the school supplies that you need coming into school in August, and I'm going to kind of go through those. We're kind of specific on what we want. That way that we make sure all supplies are used, none goes to waste, and we ensure that each student has what they need to succeed. So the very first thing, very simple, is a backpack. They will be putting lots of materials in their backpack throughout the year, including a computer, starter, including a binder. And so we want to make sure that that backpack is a good size for them. We also want to make sure that it's not too small. We've had students that bring in a backpack too small, and then they have to get a new one. So make sure that you're finding one that can fit materials inside. The next thing is a pair of scissors. So scissors, obviously, if they are left-handed or they are choosing to use their left hand more than their right hand, it would be beneficial for them to get left-handed scissors. If not, just a regular pair of kids' scissors would be great. We also ask, as you can see, like on this one, their name is written on the side. This is super important. They each will have their own art box, but sometimes things get misplaced. If they have their name written on the scissors, very helpful. That way we can help get the scissors to who they belong to, if lost. The next thing is glue sticks. We ask that you bring in 8 glue sticks. We really like the Elmer's brand. It works a lot better than Rose Art or any of the other brands. It's more durable and they last longer. The next thing that we have on the list is 4 packages of size 16 Crayola, not Rose Art, not Target brand, any of that kind of stuff. Crayola. It's always known to be the best crayons that there are. 4 packs of 16 of 24. Later in the year, we're able to use more colors once we know how to use those crayons properly. So 4 packs of 16, 4 packs of 24. Box of tissues, just a normal box of tissues. My goodness, kindergartners are snotty monsters, as you all know, and we go through these like crazy. So it has on here that we need 1 box of tissues for each child that you are sending here to kindergarten. We also have something called a weekly reader. This is kind of like our magazine in a sense that we use. It's a lot of times used for social studies. And so $6.25, that can be either in cash or in a check. Have it brought in an envelope with your child's name on it. That way, as we're going through and collecting materials, we can go ahead and check off that student's name once they've brought that material in. Next thing that we have is a box of pencils. It's really helpful if it's pre-sharpened, just regular number 2 pencil. Any brand is great. Obviously, we really like the Target brand. There's also a few other really good brands out there. But we need a 12 count. This one is 24, so the student overachieved, but we just need 12 pencils if at all possible. The next thing on our list is 1 pencil pouch. So you will see the pencil pouches they have the 3 rings in them for like a 3-ring binder. We really like when it has the clear plastic cover on it. That way we can see notes. This will be going into your student's binder that goes home back and forth every single night. Once that note is in there, we can see it if it has that clear front. We also ask that you bring an old t-shirt. Grandma, grandpa, if they got an old t-shirt, mom, dad, brother, sister. This is just a paint shirt. Expect this to come home dirty at the very end of the year. Expect paint to get on it, markers to get on it, chalk to get on it, all sorts of things. So don't go out to Target and buy a brand new shirt. Just grab an old one. It'll work just fine. The next thing that we have on there is Clorox wipe. This is for boys only. If you are a boy, bring a container of Clorox wipes. We don't need every student to bring these. Just our boys. Bring a container of Clorox wipes. Ladies, we would really like if you could bring hand sanitizer, this size, the 8-ounce size. Ladies, if you could bring 2 of these, that would be great. We also have on there change of clothes. Accidents happen, especially at the beginning of the year. We're all trying to get onto a schedule, and sometimes we have accidents. It's totally fine. It's normal. It's something that we work through. And while they're here, we want them to feel comfortable. So at the very beginning of the year, obviously at that time, it is August, and so we want shorts, t-shirt, Some parents even send in a change of shoes and socks. Please make sure that you're sending underwear and things that your child would need in case they do have an accident here at school. We always have the students go down with our nurse and get cleaned up. And we always want them to feel comfortable in their own change of clothes. So if you could bring that in, we ask that you put this into a gallon-sized bag with your child's name on it. This way the teacher, your child's teacher, can easily get into their cabinet, pull out that student Ziploc bag, and send them down instead of siphoning through all of the bags and trying to figure out which one belongs to who. The next thing that we have is over-the-ear headphones. So here is a great example. These ones go over the ears, not inside of the ears. Here in kindergarten, those little 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds who are coming in on that first day, those earphones, the earbuds, do not fit inside of their ears properly. Okay, we ask that you bring over-the-ear headphones. These ones are a perfect example. These ones even compact down into a smaller size and then, of course, have the cord. Okay, the next thing is a small, self-explanatory. Here in kindergarten, we do allow them to have a water bottle. Each teacher does it a little bit differently, but we want to make sure that it is clear. We can see what liquid is inside, and also something that they know how to use. So make sure it's not like a twist cap that they're having to take off every day. Make sure your child knows how to use it and they don't need their teacher's help every single time they're asking to get a drink of water. We also ask that you bring a 1-inch 3-ring binder. If it is bigger, we cannot use it. It is too large. If it's smaller, we're not going to be able to fit everything inside of it that we want. So a 1-inch 3-ring binder. We also ask, this one's kind of tricky just because it's white, but we do see that folder on the front and we see that folder on the back side as well. We ask that you find one that has that clear folder and back. We do actually put materials in the front and back of your 3-ring binder. On the inside here, we can see that obviously it has the 3 rings, but we can also see that it has those folder pieces on both sides. We need that as well because materials do go into that folder piece so that you can have papers go home and papers come back to school as well. We also ask that you bring in Play-Doh. It says on the supply list a 4-pack of the Play-Doh brand. We don't want the Rose Art. We don't want Target brand, Walmart brand, any of that kind of stuff. Please make sure that you're purchasing the Play-Doh brand. There is a large difference in that material. We want to make sure everybody is given the same materials as well. Our art teacher, Mrs. Schwer, has asked that we also bring in a container of Clorox wipes for her as well. She uses them every day, cleaning off those desks and making sure that her room is safe environment for the class coming after her. If you are selected to be in Mrs. Brown's class, she is asking that you bring paper bowls. We use these materials throughout the entire year for crafts. And please bring those in 50 count. And she's also asking for snack size Ziploc bags. If you are selected for Ms. Carmichael's room, please bring paper plates, 100 count, in Ziploc gallon size. Now, with the gallon size bag, there are different types of gallon size bags. We're asking for not the normal clothes, but you'll see there is a piece of plastic on the top that you can kind of scoot across the Ziploc. This is just an easy open and close for our students here in kindergarten. Sometimes it's hard for them to pinch and pull, and so if it just has that plastic piece that slides across, that would be great. If you are in my class, Mrs. McGuire's class, we are asking that you bring in plastic silverware in 50 count and the small sandwich size bags. If you are able to find the slider, that would be fantastic. We need that as well, again, because in kindergarten, it's sometimes hard for them to figure out how to close those Ziploc bags properly without a teacher's help. And if you think there's 25 kids in a class, having all 25 of them need help closing, it's kind of a catastrophe. So if you could have the slider, that would be fantastic. If you're she would like a 4-pack of Expo fine tip marker, which is this size. Okay, the fine tip, it's real small. It's not a normal Expo marker that you may think that you use on a board. A 4-pack of the Expo fine tip dry erase black. Black. We don't want red, blue, green, any of the other colors. Please make sure that it is in black. That would be fantastic. And last thing for Miss Tinkle is she needs the quart size Ziploc bag. Again, if you are able to find it with the slider on the top instead of just a normal Ziploc bag, that would be great. All right. Well, if you have any questions concerning the supply list, please make sure that you reach out to your classroom teacher that first week of school. On Meet the Teacher Night, this is usually the night before school starts. You will actually bring these supplies in to your classroom teacher when you meet them, and you can ask them questions if you have questions then. But we are so excited to have you here at Royerton, and we look forward to seeing you in August. Thanks. Bye.